Nice little 4.5k active recovery Thursday. A ton of you have been asking me and JC, what do you eat in a day? Can you show us what you eat in a day kind of thing? So today, you're gonna follow me around as always, but I'm gonna put a lot more emphasis into exactly what I'm eating, why, how, blah, blah, blah. Just to give you, even if it just gives you a little bit more inspiration in terms of your timing or how to build your plate, that kind of stuff. Over the last year and a half, I've lost about 1.5 stone. I put on quite a lot of fluff when I was doing a dirty bulking strength program. If you're interested, let's crack on. This is the first thing I have in the morning. 750 ml container. Fill it up with water the night before and leave it on the table. That gets necked before I start my day. And then now with my breakfast, 1 scoop of creatine JB. I've got my X Endurance lactic buffers, or X Endurance tabs in there, and my multivits. I would normally have omega-3 fish oils and Vit D3 in there as well, but I've currently run out. But all of these, you may have seen in an earlier vlog, all of those supplements, my water, my running kit, everything that I'm gonna need for the following morning gets laid out the night before. That's just standard, purely just because I want it to be as frictionless as, I want it to be as frictionless as possible, to give myself as minimal excuses to get it done as I possibly can, because it's hard. 5:45 in the morning is like a little bit lethargic, so I just literally want to get up, roll into my clothes, fall into my shoes and be out the door before I really worry about it. Breakfast is pretty standard across the board during the week, I must admit. 2 slices of bread, seeded loaf. I have 3 large eggs, which I'll scramble. About 60 grams of blueberries and a satsuma in there. And normally, Opus Coffee, which is our own coffee company. If you want to check it out and get yourself some. I personally absolutely love the Brazilian blend. I'll put the link in the description. White Americano, a little splash of lacto-free milk, absolute win. So this might not show you properly, but the very next thing that I do is put in my food into my fitness pal. I am tracking at the moment, so this is coming out about 540 calories. Obviously it's an average, it can be a little bit higher or lower depending on the product. But again, nice little habit, because then the reward, I get to eat my breakfast nice and peacefully. Right, I'm sorry, I had to leave you alone for about 45 minutes. Here's Jax, she just wants, do you want to wear your sunglasses today? Do you like them? Yeah. So it's a bit of a mad one today. I'm in Stan. I picked him up from storage yesterday because we are getting a gas heater fitted in him. Something that we booked ages ago, and obviously because of the COVID situation, it's had to wait a very long time to get done. So I've got to take little Jaxie to nursery about half an hour early, pop the van over, and then get a taxi back home because my car, so when I go to pick up the van, I have to leave my car at storage to then bring the van away, and Carly's on a job today, so it's going to be a little bit of a, but we're going to get it done, and then it means that we can use Stan all year round when we're able to travel around properly again, because we will have full integrated gas heating, which is wonderful. All that and home before 9 AM. See, this is why I like getting up early in the mornings. Van is in. I have practically finished my 2nd bottle. I don't know why this keeps going so light today. 2nd bottle of water. I aim to get like 3 or 4 of these in a day. So now, again, it follows me everywhere. New habit for drinking water. A lot of people say, I don't drink enough water. I'm like, glue the bloody damn bottle to your hand and you will drink the water. So now I need to have my next snack of the day. I will show you that, and then we're gonna have a little bit of a chat about my coach and my approach. Pretty simple. My only rule is high protein. Simple as that. Most satiating macronutrient we've got. It's going to help keep me fuller. For between these periods where I have my main meals, it's all about the protein. So my one and only love, the cashew caramel bear bell. If you've not had one, get one. And then also I'm currently stealing my wife's Food Spring vegan chocolate protein because I've run out. And she is signed by them, so she gets it for free, which is great. Let's talk nutrition. First point, I want to give you a little bit of a tip. Again, as I did with my breakfast, before I eat any of my stuff, I'm actually going to talk to you even more before I eat these. I put them in my fitness pal. It's a level of accountability and putting something between me and the act, right? I know I'm weak in certain areas when it comes to nutrition. I love chocolate, I've got a sweet tooth. My level of accountability and justification for poor habits and routines that I used to have really badly is very good. I can really get around myself, and I know I can. And doing something as simple as this is now such a subconscious thing, it just happens now when I create a meal or have a snack, is that before I have it, I put it into my FitnessPal. I know roughly what the calories and everything are gonna be anyway, but it's created about 40 to 50 seconds where I can go, do I want it? And there's been multiple times in the past year where this has suddenly disappeared. And it's disappeared not because I don't want to eat it, because it's lovely, but because I look at it and go, do I need it now? And it can save me upwards of 1,000, 2,000, sometimes even 3,000 calories a week on a good week, where I go, oh, it's just a moment before. Sometimes I'm one of those people that just eats for the sake of eating. And because you've put a mechanism in place before you actually eat, it reminds you to go, oh shit, just ask yourself a question. Sometimes that's a big, big step in nutrition. Now I want to cover a subject that some people might have scratched their head a little bit at when I said that I'm working with a coach, because they're like, well, you're a sports nutritionist, you know what you're doing, right? And I do, right? The fact is, with nutrition, there's weaknesses across everybody's playing field. Some people are just terrible at logging. Some people are good at getting around themselves. Some people's level of accountability is crap. And some people's reasons are completely wrong, right? They don't offer enough for them to participate in said act of tracking or wanting to lose weight or whatever the goal may be. And it's my biggest strength as a coach, but my biggest weakness as an individual or an athlete, if you want to call me that. It feels great. Is accountability. I need direction, I need reason, I need somebody to turn around and go, oh right, okay, cool. You did that, did you? Why? The reason it's my biggest strength as a coach is because when my clients say to me, I've got a sweet tooth, I've got this, I love snacks, I do this, I do that, I can go, okay, cool, I get it. Let's try this and we can compromise. Whereas if you've got a coach who doesn't do any of that and doesn't understand it, they don't understand that level of getting around yourself and wanting it. They just think that you're being a fat, lazy twat most of the time. But basically I brought Luke in because I'd been on the back of about an 18-month strength cycle where I just got a little bit lazy, whacked my calories up when I really didn't necessarily need to begin with. It's another tip as well, if you're somebody who wants to build muscle, get stronger. First thing you shouldn't be doing is putting your calories up. I know we talk about being in an energy surplus, blah, 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 in order to be in an environment to build muscle and all that sort of stuff. But to begin with, most people should actually function around their maintenance and get those habits in check. Make sure that you're getting your protein feeds in and requirements as in your 24-hour window that you actually need. Make sure you're fueling for the work that you're doing right now. And then when you do pump your calories up, you've already put yourself into a nice position to work from, or a base to work from, rather than just whacking your calories up and going hashtag dirty bulking 2 weeks later and you're still only eating about 40 grams of protein. I lost about a stone and I was like, brilliant. But the thing that I was noticing is that, first of all, compositionally, I wasn't really going in the direction I would have liked. And also as well, performance-wise, I didn't want to get to that sub 80 kilo body weight, lose my strength, or my strength drop too much and my performance start to drop and start to look washed out, which can happen for me. I tend to drop my calories a little bit too low, don't really pay too much attention, just worry about getting the number down. It can work, but it's not good for performance. Luke specializes in that area. His name's Luke Hall, or Luke Hall Mighty One on Instagram. Check him out, extremely knowledgeable dude. And I brought him on to essentially just steer the ship. He took an overview and looked where we were at, and it's like, in all honesty, it's like, you're not doing that bad. It's like, what we're gonna do is reverse diet you, because what had essentially happened, like I say, having a bit of a focus to get the calories down, my calories were a little bit too low in relation to where I needed them to be, but we can't just ramp them back up. So we started at around 2,400 calories, 2,500 calories, with a more primary focus on protein and fueling for my sessions. And then now we're sitting around between 2,750 and 2,900, I believe. So I always sit somewhere between there. The lower days, like today, will be a slightly lower day because it's an active recovery day. The higher days are when I do my CrossFit style sessions. My body weight is currently at 78 kilos. It's probably gonna sit between 78 and 79 is gonna be like my fighting weight, I call it now. And compositionally, body fat's starting to come down more so, which is absolutely great. It's more about knowing that somebody's looking and checking in for me. And yeah, that comes at a cost, because some people are like, why would you pay someone to just look at your food diary? But honestly, the amount of weight that it adds to me personally is worth its weight in gold. And as you can see right now, I'm sitting at 78 kilos. I'm around 13.5% body fat, which is great for me. Body fat, not really worried that much, but generally I'm in a pretty good condition. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. I've been talking for like 7 minutes, probably the most boring 7 minutes of your life. So I'm gonna eat these snacks and catch up with my clients. Then me and JC have got a podcast. It's time to go and do a podcast with JC down in the office. One little tip here, as I'm just showing you the front of my coffee mug. If any of you are in the process of dieting, setting up your calories and that kind of stuff, and you love a sweet tooth, a bit like me, I've got a little bit of a quick hack for you with coffees. What I always love is a flat white or a cappuccino. In any form of restriction with calories or moderation, little wins really add up. If you're somebody who I like 2 coffees, sometimes 3 maximum a day now, but I used to have up to 5 or 6 coffees a day. Guess how many of them were cappuccinos or flat whites? Every single one. Good couple of 100 calories. Americano, not even 100 calories, maybe 60. So you're saving a good 100 to 200 calories, depending on how you're making it, every single time you make a coffee. Do that 5 times a day, 500 or 600 calories that you can eat instead of sip down. There you go, here's JC. It's talking about ripping videos. Is it morning? It is, yeah. This is how we're having to do our podcast at the moment because of #COVID.com. So we're now going to get this done, and then I'm going to bring you on a journey, but I'm not going to show you the video. I've just told John about a video that I'm going to film all about sleep trackers, and it's had the tip of the cap from JC, so it's got to happen now. Podcast filmed. I have just filmed a new Instagram video. Now it's time for lunch. Let's go and construct. 200 grams chicken with a splash of olive oil. Remember, that's going to come with a whack of 100 odd calories. So that's going to cook off. A little bit of salt and pepper seasoning there. Might put a little bit of thyme and garlic just because I like that. And then I'm going to do a big portion of veg to go with that as well. Simple as that. 200 grams of chicken, as I said. I got half a red onion in there and about 50 grams of broccoli to 100 grams of broccoli and a banana. You may notice that I've not got a lot of carbs apart from the fact that I've got a banana, but that's purely just because I know that I'm going to train after this and I don't like to have a load of stodgy carbs before I train. It just makes me feel lethargic. So you know what I'm going to do now? Yes, my Fitness Pal, and then eat it. So as I get into it, it's about another 500 calories there roughly. Pardon me. And there's always the question of, do I track my vegetables? Do I not track my vegetables? The only time I'm always going to say 100% make sure that you're tracking them to the T. 2 reasons. One, if you're vegetarian or vegan, obviously, because predominantly a lot of your meals are going to be made up by vegetables. And also as well, if you're really close to the mark with your calories each day. So what I do with mine is I just put in a generic stir-fry veg, right? And it comes out at a quantity of around 200 grams, which is roughly what I tend to have. And I just put that in. I don't put the individual broccoli in, the individual onion and that kind of stuff. It's just, again, it's about being as frictionless as possible. It's going to give me a decent average. And also as well, every single day when I get to the end of my calories, I'm pretty much there or thereabouts, where I have that movement space, right? Where I've got about 100 calories that I can play with, where I'm like, that's the miscellaneous, where I'm like, oh, I probably haven't tracked my courgette and a few of the broccoli pieces. It might be a little bit out, and it gives some room to play. But if you're somebody who's always going over your calories and not tracking your veg, that's when I would suggest you probably want to get that visual rein on it for a little while. But generally, for most of us, we don't really need to. We've got something really exciting that we're going to be bringing to the TLM training plan community from next month. So if you want to get involved in that, 12 quid a month, 5 sessions a week, buzz in. I'll put the link to the training plans in the description box. Then I'm going to go and have a session. So I know, strictly speaking, today was an active recovery day, i.e. not doing anything major, but I must admit I feel pretty refreshed. My session yesterday wasn't particularly crazy, so I'm going to do a proper bro session, bit of bench press, some bicep curls, just usual stuff. Heart rates, it's none of that stuff where I'm going to smash my heart rate, so CrossFit specific. So it's going to be quite a static session. And nice nostalgia, but technically speaking, on an active recovery day, the run that I would do this morning at an active pace is probably all I should be doing, but I'm just feeling it. I'm vibing today, so I'm just gonna ride that wave. I've just showered after my workout. Now you get to come with me on a little adventure. So we're going to be doing a full video. We're really excited to be working with another sponsor on a video coming soon about life hacks, about saving energy and just doing things a little bit more sustainably. In our household specifically, we've done a hell of a lot over the last year about being more sustainable. And I'm excited to share with you the full video. But one thing that I've done is I'm quite bad for using my car for short nipping around purposes. To essentially, I've now got to go and drop something off at the post office, which is like half a mile away, and I'm like, oh, I can't be asked to walk. And this is going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to be able to have some fun and be a little bit of a child, but I'm also going to get there and back without using any fuel. Guess what I bought myself? Yep, I used to skate when I was younger, so I bought myself this little bad boy, Arbor skateboard. It is an absolute beaut. I'm not getting it to do any tricks or anything like that. It's going to be like a little cruiser. I'm going to take it everywhere when we go on holidays and stuff like that for the camper van, and also as well just to move around and see places. And it's just nice to have a little bit of a boyish fun moment without it costing the world anything. Look at that. Right, so I'll see you when I get back. No scrapes, which is wonderful. And just as I thought, felt like a 15-year-old boy within seconds. Wonderful, nice little moment to just chill and do something active at the same time. So now into my in-between meal afternoon snack. I call it my iron smoothie. It's a smoothie recipe that my coach Luke gave me because after looking at everything, my iron was down a little bit. I could do with a little bit more fiber and that kind of stuff in my diet. So this is what it looks like. 250 almond milk, 3 pitted dates, tablespoon of flaxseed, teaspoon cinnamon, tablespoon of peanut butter, then 140 grams of mixed frozen berries. I've only got black currants at the moment, so it's going to be a little bit sharp, this one. I'm going to put a small banana in there just to take a little bit of the sharpness away from the blueberries, because I know, or the black currants, because I know they're going to be. 80 grams of spinach leaves. Lovely old job. Minus the banana, comes in at around 450 calories. Obviously I free pour and free serve on certain bits, so there's fluctuations. So it's probably about 500, just over 500 calories. This will keep me going until, well, it's now 20 to 4. I'll have dinner with Jax at about 6:30ish, and this will keep me easily going until then. Nice little boost, that one. 920 calories left. My average evening meal is around 700 calories-ish, which then leaves me a little bit more to snack on in the evening, as you'll see. And again, like, one of the things with nutrition, it's about compromising and planning ahead. Like, the best way to succeed with any form of dieting, if you want to call it that, or lifestyle, like, to be honest, you might look at this and think that, oh my god, it's a lot of hard work, or it's a lot of doing, a lot of having to do things as each part of your day. But honestly, when I first started, it felt a little bit frustrating and a little bit like I was wading through porridge. But even this, right, the first time I made this smoothie, I just went into my fitness pal, create new recipe, wrote all the amounts of everything that I had, and then just called it an iron smoothie. So now when I go in, I just press iron smoothie and all the ingredients are there. I picked Jax up and Carly is currently on a work call upstairs, so I don't want to be in the kitchen. But tonight's dinner, very simple. Most evenings, 3 or 4 times a week, I have a gusto meal. This one, I've got a plant-based aubergine pasta bake. 530 calories, 11 grams of fat, 20 grams of protein, 89 grams of carbs. Absolutely perfect. It's all measured out for me very, very simply. I'm going to go and cook that. It's going to leave me about 400 calories to eat a snack tonight. I will normally have something like Alpro yogurt, around 200 grams. I put some blueberries in there, some nuts. I normally have 2 squares of dark chocolate as well. And then I'll have whatever I've got left. I might have a protein shake or something like that. But I'm going to leave this vlog here because it's got very, very lengthy. But the main things I want you to take away in terms of what I eat in a day, it's not specifically what I eat. It's a case of having certain things at certain points in the day and planning ahead and making sure that there's compromise along the way. It's as simple as that. A key focus for me is always getting enough protein in. I get around 150 to 180 grams depending on which day. And then after that, it's just a case of tuning my carbs up or down depending on the type of work that I'm doing. It's pretty simple, but the most important thing when it comes to starting is you have to be disciplined and you have to understand the reasonings as to why you're putting certain things in. Don't just do them and go, I just want to lose weight. Think about it a little bit more than that. Think about performance, think about your goals, think about what's next to go with it, and it will become a little bit more of a fun and enjoyable process. Hope you enjoy this one. Let me know if you've got any questions whatsoever below, and I'll see you in the next one.